Hello and welcome back to Transports Fever 2, the UK modded series. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. Now, last time out, we redid the viaduct, at least part of the viaduct. We did some detailing. We ended up changing a few little things around here and there. I think we did a little bit of work on some of the I say fences, but some of the hedgerows, that's the word I was looking for, hedgerows for the farms. We painted some wheat in, or we made some wheat farms. We ensured that everything was okay, and then after that we did a run from West Mersey over here to Berwick upon Tweed, which is where we are starting today's video. Now, I have not done some of that in-depth detailing that you would do in a town, or I would do in a town, with the UK houses just yet. And the reason for that is because I'm trying to figure out what the best way is going to be for me to be able to add those UK houses, but also have vehicles running around. Because at the moment in West Mersey, it's rather, well, empty. And I'm a little bit concerned that by adding the UK houses everywhere, we may end up messing up the amount of vehicles around. So I need to think about that and come up with a possible solution. So in this video, as I said, at least I think I said I would do last time, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to turn the focus away from the passenger lines at the moment and away from the cities at the moment and start working on a little bit more freight. I suppose indirectly cities are part of it, but we need to look at freight, and I need to figure out, I want to get something for Berwick upon Tweed or around this area. So I need to figure out what kind of industry is going to work here and where to situate it, and how to make the railway lines that will actually support that particular network. So make sure you stay tuned for some freight yard building, or some freight building. It may not be a yard, but it'll certainly be some freight building, perhaps between some mines, some quarries, something along those lines, over to a brand new factory that we are going to build somewhere in the vicinity of Berwick upon Tweed. Now, one thing I've noticed already is that it seems to be lagging for some reason in Berwick upon Tweed, but realistically, I cannot see anything here that would cause such stutters and such lag, which is really, really strange. In fact, I might start playing around a little bit with the options to see if I can smooth this out somewhat. But anyway, for now, we are not going to worry about that. As you can see, there are some. Yeah, look at this. That lag is really weird. There are some British-style buildings popping up everywhere, as you can see over here. Laura Ashley, Lakeland, local news. What's that? News agents. Robert Dyers. We've got truly scrumptious suites. Nationwide, we're on your side. Job centre plus, because in the 1800s clearly we needed a job centre, and so on and so forth, and just building up. Do we have a Cotswold? Ernest Jones. I'm looking for a Woolies. I wonder if the Woolies is here. Apparently there's CEX here. Yes, of course. And that's West. Yeah, a Thomas Cook. Now a Thomas Cook would be very realistic, especially near a station. That would actually make sense, since Thomas Cook did create stations. Now Ryman didn't exist back then. It would have been Partners, but I don't even think Partners existed back then. Anyway, so what I'm looking for is, one, what kind of industry I can put in this area, and two, where. Now, if I bring up, one of the things I do want to take a look at is not navigable waters. It's going to be contour lines. Now, ideally, I think if I'm going to put an industry, I need it on a flatter piece of land. So maybe over here, in this farmland over here, perhaps. Not up here. This doesn't look ideal for the industry. So realistically, I seem to be constrained perhaps I can be constrained to this area here. This might do well for me to have an industry in this area. And then when Berwick grows, that might just work out. So let's have a look at the various different industries that we have. Not a town. So I need to try and figure out what goes in and out of various industries. So freestyle industry is not what I'm after. Eventually I might need to use some of those. Now I know what goes in and out of a farm. We've got farms. I don't think farms are going to be an issue at the moment. So a farm is just output. Obviously a food processing plant, we're going to have input and output. We've got the quarries. Now this is one I'm considering. So I'm considering a construction materials plant. And I'm actually considering one of them simply for the reason of, well, if I just place that in, it's not that large. I can certainly create an area around it, certainly a railway around it too, and we can produce construction materials, of which Berwick needs 2, but we have the option of Alford, which requires construction materials, Bentham, which requires some construction materials. At the moment I haven't got too far down, but down the market doesn't require any. Lichfield requires a little bit. West Mersey is an important one if it requires some. Again, a little. So we have the option of running freight lines now across the country. And we have 1, 2, 3 quarries nearby that can supply us. Now this one I think would have to be supplied. Actually, we could probably get some sort of railway in through this one. There might be something I can do. These 2 would have to be supplied by rail for certain. I think that has to be supplied by rail. And then I can leave these 2 quarries for something else. So I know that there are quarries that are used for other things. So we've got that as an option. Forest, no. Sawmill, no. We don't need planks, and I don't know where the nearest lumber is anyway. This must be up here somewhere. There they are. Nearest lumber's up there, as far as I know. Yeah. Oh wait, there's some down here, but there. Yeah. See down here, there's a lot of lumber in this area, so we could use the sawmills further down when I get there. A tools factory requires what? Apparently planks to make tools. So there you go. So this all is probably going to be down south. Down south, we're going to have a lot of this kind of stuff. So we'll continue. A coal mine we've already got, iron ore mine. A steel mill is going to require, well, steel, so it's going to be coal and iron. A machines factory is probably going to require steel and wood. Yep, there you go. There must be a way for me to be able to just see what's what. Does that not work on 6 and 7? Oil refinery, no. Fuel, no. Chemical plants, not yet. Goods factory, again, I'm not sure what it would require. Apparently plastic, and that's not good. So we're going to have to figure out how to get fuel refined and all of that kind of stuff. A meat processing plant we could work on at some point. Alcohol distillery, perhaps. Fishery, perhaps. Livestock farm, yeah, we'll work on that. Coffee refinery, all of these is for later. Oil sand mine is not necessarily a paper mill. Wood to paper. Now that might be something I use somewhere else. A paper mill is a good idea. Silver ore mine, not at the moment. Steel mill, again. Silver mill, not required at the moment. Marble. Gasworks, again, not yet. Chemical plant, again, not yet. Goods factory, I don't know what this plus means. We have, okay, well, those rules suck. Can I thought I put something to resize these. Yeah, those rules really suck. If there was one that did not require plastic, then that would be awesome. But that's something we could certainly be looking at. Food processing plant, we could work on a better food processing plant later on. Aha! A better construction materials plant. This is important. Okay. Sand, slag, stone. Yep, that's the one we're probably going to try and require. Does that require marble and stone to make construction materials, or is that marble or stone? I think that might be marble and stone. Okay. Perhaps not. Not yet. Since we have no marble mines set up. Machines factory again. Mail sorting center will sort out, and waste management, I guess in the future. We will have to put in some sort of mail sorting center at some point. I think every capital city should probably have one somewhere. Now the problem I have here is that I would want it there, but because of the road, it doesn't let us actually place that. So what you have to do is get rid of the road, or place it in a place where, you know, it's near a road. And one of the things that is going to be important here is that if I put a mail sorting center, just for example, here, which, you know, is not that far off, that certainly is not that far off, the railway could come in very, very handy for this. And in fact, I'm kind of tempted to do that. Right, so I think that has pretty much made our decision for us. We need to have a construction materials plant. Now the next question is where? Now could it be wise for us to have one out here, meaning that we would end up having quite a lot of industry in this area as a plan? I think this could be a very wise idea. Now, should I do it there or there? I think I should do it. Let's do it slightly further away. Just slightly further away. And then these farms are going to disappear because we're going to end up with a railway. And that railway is going to be quite significant. This is now a big deal. This is definitely going to end up being a really big deal. So if I do it here, I'm getting rid of this. I'm probably getting rid of... Let's do this for now. And then let's place this in roughly where we want it. So if we say, let's place it sort of like that. I'm then going to remove this, and then let's see how big a road we could fit in here. Now that means that I would actually look to get rid of this, and we are going to have to push this lot back, which is fine. I mean, this is the point of all of this. So let's go ahead and get some country roads. Nice country road right here. 2211. What's the difference between these? S, whatever that means. Yeah, let's just go for something along these lines. There we go. Right up to this junction here. Okay. And then, now at the moment, obviously it's quite an open area. We could put some. We could build up this area. We could definitely build up this area to make it a lot more realistic. And in fact, I think that is going to be quite vital. Let's start detailing. I'm going to look for a wall. Not that kind of wall. Any sort of wall that I've got. Here we go. Here's a stone wall. Actually, I have. Oh no, that's not what I'm after. Well, that's kind of interesting, but no, that's not what I'm after at all. Where would they be? Let's Let's see. No, apparently not here. There was a... Ooh. Is that that? Yes, it is. Kind of looks quite nice. Okay, wall, fence. Maybe fence. None of those fences are reasonable. No, it has to be a wall of sorts. Not a retaining wall. Tower of London walls. Should we put the Tower of London walls up there? Why not? Look, a massive gate now. That's just stupid. Not that wall. Not that wall. Certainly not these. See, I would consider these. This is the kind of wall I would actually consider to be fairly valid, but it's a bit... Oh wait, low wall. There we go. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this one. Let's go in chunks of 50. Yeah. I think I'm going to try this and just see what comes of it. Just up to here. I'm not entirely sure as to how this is going to pan out, but it's worth me giving it a go. Let's turn that slightly. So you could be driving along here. It might work. It might just work. And then this needs to be some sort of an opening. In fact, on this side, let me actually put. Let me put one of the. What are these? No idea. Stop offsetting it. Huh. Not a clue. Not a clue. Right. Let's me put some of these walls up just so I have an idea as to how this is going to look on this side. And then we can do a sort of a comparison of sorts. So if that was like that, actually, you know what? That, given the era, that might actually work better. Right, okay, that's going to work better. This is why you have to think things through normally. I think it's important to be able to make decisions on things like this. Right, and then if I do that and actually bring the, is it this one? Which one is it? It's that one. And actually bring this up. No, right. Behave. There we go. Like that. There we go. So that's now we have this wall over here. I suppose there's no option for a gate or anything. Oh wait, no, there is a gate here. No, that's not really a gate, is it? Yeah, that's not a gate. Okay, so now that we have that, now we can work on doing the additional bits and adding in all the extra fluff around it. So first off, I'm going to add this surface. I'd like to put this surface in, which just looks like some sort of dirt. Don't do that. Yep, That's all it is. So just going to do this, and then the reason I'm doing it like this all the way, and it may not be all the way eventually. It's just for the time being. Right. I'm just going to do it fairly roughly. Again, there's reasonings for it being rough. And there. And you'll notice it's the same colour as the as our tracks. Okay. Then I would like to use the smoothing tool to smooth this area out so that we have no okay, come on. Trying to get none of this none of these marks or lines as best as I can anyway. Right. Why is this slightly higher than it should be? There we go. Like that. Like that. And dude, that looks pretty good. Okay. So now we've got an area. Now all we can do is we're going to actually create some more. Now the only thing here is that because of the way the road actually functions, I'm kind of tempted now to do a freestyle industry here. Let me have a look at what we've got. Brick. Okay. Factory. Which kind of looks like that. Right, you know what? I'm going to go have a look at some factories. Let's have a look. Brickworks UK. I want to see what they look like. Images. Okay, here we go. Got some factories. So that's what brick companies look like. Actually, really nice. Massive kilns. Right, I think let's see. See, all these things existed within there as well. I think we're going to have to do a freestyle industry here. Yep, we are going to have to do a freestyle industry. This is going to be this is going to be really good. But at least we've determined a position for this industry. So it's going to go right here. So much for... Can I do erase some assets? So we've wasted about half a video trying to debate what to do. But I think I've made that decision now. So let's see, how do these look? We can even have a railway going right through the middle of this. We will be using, I think we will be using the brick, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it? It's brickworks, therefore use bricks. I mean, it's only logical. Dirt. There we go. Right up to this, right across here. Across here. I'm actually going to now push this a little bit more over. It's only because of how I'm making things now and what I'm planning to do. Right. So this is our brickworks area. It's quite a large area, but we are looking to supply a lot of people here. So we should have railways coming in. We should have the brickwork. So what I'm thinking is that we have the railways at the back over here, and we're going to have to try and figure out how to get the railways to go in different directions. That's the other problem. Because of this road. I suppose if we made the railways slot in just here, it's just roughly going to put in some railways. Here we go. So if we roughly put in a railways, let's say here, and then we can have, you know, the railways doing something like that, a railway straight like this, and this is where our stations and things like that can be. So this is where I'm looking to have the station. So if the station goes here, then we'll be able to go across and then across here. Different platforms, I suppose, for picking things up. Okay, great. So that's pretty good. Then, in that case, let's have a look at the stations itself. Buildings, cargo. So what I could do is I can always stick a cargo terminus in, which I'm just going to throw in right now, and then configure it. And let's look for platforms. Ground passenger, invisible module, ground cargo. And I'll just end up creating one of these. And that's where it will stock things, and then I'll put buildings or stuff like that on top. And a little... Yep, that is how I'm going to do the buildings. Okay. Things are starting to take shape. Definitely starting to take shape. Let's get this done. Nice and quickly. Right. So, I am going to... Now, how am I going to... The problem is, how many lines am I going to run, and how do I load them? That's a big question, you see. So I'm thinking we run... The other problem is how do I get this to do what I want it to do? I'm not even sure why it's... Building size, none. Yes, that's good. Long trains. Yes, we are probably going to go for some longer trains there. 320 meter brick trains. Yep, that could work. So that also tells us that we have to push this along just a little further. And I will manually put the tracks in. I just want to get this lined up a little. There. Right, that's our station. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's our station. We shall adjust the terrain accordingly for the station. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our station. We need to come up with the idea of some station buildings. For that, I'm going to use our assets and go for factory, because I saw some... No, let's have a look at all these buildings. Not these. Certainly not that. That's not too bad. I could use... Right, I can use a machine building like this somewhere. So we'll look at that. These sorts of buildings. A brick shed, maybe. A barn to store things in. Here we go. Lean-to. Yes. This is what I want. This is a lean-to. So I could turn this around and we can have this on top of where the bricks are. Yep, so the bricks don't get wet. Let's go ahead and customize this. So we're just going to have one rail there. We're going to go for ground. Can I just go for everything? No. Platforms. Ground. Ground cargo station, there it is. Whoops. It's not exactly on the ground, is it now? It's still a little bit... okay, fine. A little bit elevated is fine. I guess I cannot get everything perfect on this. No. Right. So there's our ground cargo station. Which is looking... it's looking okay. It's looking okay. And then, if we stick lean-tos on this... yeah, that works. The only problem I'm having here is I would rather not have the writing on this. So, just stick some lean-tos. This is not easy. Oh, actually, wait a minute. There we go. And slightly taller, or no. Let's make it slightly taller. Yep, that's a little bit better. So we can have lean-tos all the way along. There we go. I might neaten this up after. This is just my first attempt at making a freestyle factory, actually. So I think I'm doing all right. Yeah, I think I'm doing okay. There we go. Right, and then we'll have a look. The problem here is that it has no... so it looks fine from this angle. From the other angle, it's going to look terrible. So I'm going to have to figure that one out too. Then we're going to look for factory. And we're looking for... do you want forest one, the goods one? Not that. Ooh. Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice entrance. Okay. I'll consider that entrance. We will do this, and if I can get some chimneys in, that will be pretty good. For the goods, this one is not going to be used, and this forest one, I mean, it's just a hut. It's not exactly what I'm after. Tools. Aha! Here we go. Yes, it's the tools one. Okay. So we're just looking for a few of these, just sitting out here. That will just give us a little bit more realism to the build. So it doesn't have to be everywhere. We could just have a couple. For example, just I guess it'd be this way, possibly, just a little bit near the track. So we'll have one here, and we'll have let's just put two like that. And then we'll have another one approximately here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. We are obviously going to need to connect a few roads along through this, but I'm going to sort that out in a moment. Then what we need to do is we need to look at these big, these whopping grates. There we go. And I'm not going to have them... I'm thinking I'm not going to have them straight from that. I'm going to do it like this. And then if I just sort of... maybe Just trying to do something a bit fancy with this. That gives it a bit of a T, but it's not exactly what I'm after. That's not too bad. So that's perhaps that's where one of the brickworks are, and we can have a couple of factories along these lines. Not that. Let's see. Is that a smaller building? That is a smaller building. Let's go out like that. Yep. So that is one. We can say that is one factory for brickwork or something. Yeah. Let's say that is a brickwork factory. This isn't exactly what I'm after. This isn't perfect, but I if I figure out a better way of doing this. Now this is a bit more modern, you see, so I cannot do that. Cannot do that. These are just building bricks. Cannot use that. Industrial buildings 2. Oh, we just went through that. Industrial buildings 1. Hello. Now see, that is much more like what we'd get from brickworks. Tall chimneys. Unfortunately, the rest of the building is not what we'd get. So I wonder. And here's some. Ooh, what was that? No. 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 This is a pretty good one. Maybe I should just make a few from there. Potentially. That's coal. That's no good. That's no good. More. That's no good. Quarry. Now you see, this could come in handy. So we'll have to have a look at that. No. Medieval stuff. Wow, that looks lovely. These medieval buildings look really nice, but no. City house. No. Small main building. No. Industrial. Aha! Too modern. Too modern. For the plan that I've got. Okay. Brick. No. Cargo. Dad, can I just do something silly like this? Oh, chimney, yes. Chimney. There we. Now we're talking. Not any of those. You're a bit small, but no. You know what? Look. Now it's looking more like brickworks. Because this could very well resemble the kilns. The chimneys for the kilns. There we go. Now it's starting to look a bit better. That was one of the things missing. Large chimneys. Okay. I'm now going to throw in yet another. Now I'm going to throw in another industry factory. Let's throw in industry. Maybe if I just type in industry and see what we've got. Industry. Could I just throw in another one of these? That's the problem. Is it doesn't expand the way I want it to. Now I could very well throw in. We could say that this is a smaller, slightly smaller section, and just try and connect it up. like this. And look, that's the other building. Again, I'm literally trying my absolute best here to come up with something that would look like brickworks. That would look like brickworks that actually it just matches the kind of style. I really do not fancy a mix of lots and lots of different things. Now, you're probably wondering then, why on earth do I have all of this space out here? Well, all of this space is because it's brickworks. You're going to need bricks. In addition to that, kind of need the freestyle industry. So, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put in some roads. Let's find some very basic. Yeah, these kind of roads will do quite nicely. There we go. Actually, these roads will be even better. There you go. After all, it is a brickworks. You need to expect it has to have some sort of decorum and class, right? Right, so we'll have that go up. And I tell you what, that can keep going forward. And that can go all the way to here. And then what we can do is we can do a bit of something that goes along like that and turns in like that to go into what we could do is put some sort of green areas here as well, just at the front. It just makes it look a little bit better. And then out here at the back and along the side, we're just going to put lots of brick. And maybe here we'll put some stone or something along those lines. So for example, if I just go ahead and do this, make this a lot smaller, and then just make that stronger, and do that, so we get some varying effects as well. And you can say that is where the stone is piled up, that they then transport across somehow. And we can figure out how they transport some of this stone across. So I'll go ahead and paint that. So we'll go stone. Okay, it's not going to be stone, it's going to be rock perhaps. Yeah, I suppose we could just paint it like... Is that going to be the one I want? Yeah, I think it is. There we go. And I'm sure I can come up with something else. We probably need somewhere to store coal, things like that. So look, this is our one of our stone piles, and obviously the other thing we need to put in, which I am going to put in, is going to be the industry itself. But I'd just like to put some grass back in. Here we go. Nice and small. We'll just put the grass back in. There we go. A nice patch of grass along here. Just to give it a bit more sort of, it's a feature, you see. And you do not want something like this being completely and utterly barren. So you'd have grass areas like that, so when you walk in, and similarly here I think we should probably have some grass that probably goes across like this. We'll put some trees in. There we go. Maybe, in fact, let's just run the grass all the way along there. And then over here we may have no grass there, but certainly let's put some grass in along this side, and then perhaps straighten it up like that. And that's our grassy areas. So, you know, when people come into work, they've got a place to be. In fact, I suppose on this we could perhaps extend the grass area out all the way, like so, just to give it a very nice open area. Put some trees in here so that when the industry comes in, and then on this side we're probably going to have some sort of truck stop, I would think. So this is where the industry is going as well. So if I go ahead and stick the industry in here, I'm going to say that this one has got an input of taking stone and an output. Oh, I need something that's got input and output. There we go. Input and outputs construction materials. And we'll try and figure out and what's this? So should we go 1 for 1, or should we say every stone gets us 2? No, every 2 stone. So you have to refine it and do something to it, and we can have 100 employees here because it's a pretty big place, and we'll make we'll make a decent sized stockpile here as well, just to give it some sort of credence that it looks somewhat realistic at the very least. In fact, let's move that a little bit further forward. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so it requires stone, it outputs construction materials like that, and if we can just get this pathed up nicely, how am I going to path this up? Because it doesn't seem to. Oh no, wait, it does, I think. So could I just do this to it? Too much slope. What? What does that? It doesn't get there. Why does it not get there? Okay, so this is something I'm going to have to work out later on. But what I want to do now is some sort of. Where do you get assets? Here we go. Oh, is that the stone wall I was after? There's the stone wall, or the stone walls. Never mind. No. Let's just find me some assets. Hey, look, are these piles of brick? No, it's just brick. I thought those were piles of bricks. Okay, no. Asset. It's probably just going to give me everything, isn't it? Yeah. Let's poke through all of these. It's not that. It's not those. It's not those. It's not the third rail. It's not those. These buildings could come in handy at some point, but we shall see what we do with them. It's not those. It's not those. Certainly not these. Not these. Not that. None of those. Cargo shed, overpass, bridge. Cargo shed, no. It's not none of these. None of these. Certainly not those. Aha! Here we go. This is part of what I want. So, would they have in those, right? Going back in time, they would probably have these, right? But this is quite. Or would they? No, they might have these. They may have these. So what we can do is we can just have a few of these dotted alongside, sort of in this fashion. There we go. So we have some extra stuff there. We're not going to have those. And then perhaps just outside of each of these we have one of these. I feel like I've made a mistake somewhere, but it's all right. I'll figure it out. I want to take a look at the buildings for the cargo and the configurable station, which this really kind of works. In fact, that really does work. Just in case we have anything that we need to take to Berwick upon Tweed. That works for us. In fact, that works for us really nicely. That's starting to give this a lot of character. In fact, I'm actually going to paint this part as well. I feel like that's going to really work. Oops. I feel like that is just really going to work, and then if we just add some trees in. No, wait, focus on this. Focus. Boxes. No. Ah, but we may get what we're after here. A pallet. A pallet of what? It's an empty pallet. That's a pallet of wood. Dynamite? No. Nope. That's no good. That's no good. An excavator. Are we in this era? Do you know what? We probably are. I think we might just about be in this era. There you go. We've got an excavator in there. It's not perfect looking. A beam. No, we don't need beams. A wheelbarrow. Yeah, you'd certainly probably see a couple of these out here. We'll stick some of them along. We probably need a tool shed or something as well. None of those, none of those, none of those. Okay. I might end up cutting part of yeah, I might end up cutting part of this video. Hello. Just to make this faster. Look at these hedges. How lovely. There's the walls. Should we add these walls in now? Let's put these walls back in. There you go. Yeah, it's starting to take shape. Can I do something silly here? Kinda can. Yep, I kinda can. Kinda can. Yeah, Scott. That's Australian, is it? Kinda can. It's extremely silly, but I want to do it nevertheless. That's a silly one. It needs to be slightly forward of this. There we go. Okay. It's starting to take shape. It's certainly starting to take shape. Let's start adding a little bit more in. None of that. No, I doubt we want to place HSTs in there. We'll probably have a little picnic area or something for the staff. That's what this front area is all for. But right, lighthouse? No. Right now we need to find other things. No. Posters, roadwork. Okay, maybe. No, these are way too modern. Those no good. Again, not what I'm after. Let's see what we can do with this. So what we can do is we can park up a few additional wagons in a really weird fashion or something, and that might look a little bit interesting. Yard cranes. Nope, none of these work. Aha. Right. Well, no. Why? I want bricks. Is it so hard to find just some bricks? Track works wagons, no. Coal hot, no. Oh, that's a nice crane. Quarry assets? Well, I mean, it's a bit... Yeah, it's not quite what I'm after. Workmen, billboards, light box, printer decal, no. Parking space, printer sign, no. Where even am I? There, yeah, that's where I was. Nope, nope, that's not it. No, no. You know what? I'll have to find this at a later point in time. Let's just finish off a little bit of what I was doing. So let's put some. Do we have some birch trees? Birch? No. What would you call it? Linden? Let's put some of these trees in. Just a little smattering of trees. Okay, I said a little smattering of trees. There we go. I'll delete the tree. I'll delete some trees in a short while. Go on this side, just on this side. There we go. Perfect. Add some lighter trees in to give us a bit nicer coverage. There we go. And then I'll just go ahead and delete a few trees. So you go, you go, you go, you go, you go. And then I'll just delete, have a little gap through here. There we go. It's not looking too shabby. After all, that doesn't look horrible. That really doesn't look horrible. It's just something that's taking a while to make. Let's go ahead and configure this. Oh gosh, that's horrible. We want cargo sheds. Hello. This is even better. Cargo platform goods shed. Okay. Just had an even better idea. Before we do that, I need to that has essentially given me everything I require right there. Configure. Yep, that would work very well for me. Good sheds. No, come on, fit the right way. No, you're the terrible, terrible shed. There we go. Doesn't have to be everywhere. Okay. Goods platform ramp. Ah, so if we fit... Okay, so if I get rid of you, and then I put a... Why do you keep zooming out so much? Put that on, and then somehow connect that up. That might... No, that looks terrible. I've got to figure out what... Stop zooming out, you piece of junk. Go away. I do not want main buildings like that. I could certainly have one more large shed, and then just put the then let's have an actual platform in place. There we go. That's starting to really look as though it should do something. Right, tracks. What do we call this? It's not third rail, it's not high speed, it's standard tracks. And 30 is what we want. Right. So I will have to figure out how I'm going to do this. So we could always have a shorter platform here, so we can just connect up like that, like so, and then that's going to be a platform. and then we'll have no, sorry, that's not supposed to be a platform. I'm sorry, that's supposed to be a platform, not a track. So we'll just put, for example, I'm just going to stick a ground platform in here, and then we'll put some tracks back in. Let's go 35. High speed standard tracks. Standard tracks, that's the one. So this is where perhaps we can get our trains with the stone on them, and then we can bring them in from here. You know what? I could just continue this up like that. That's another one. That's a platform where they pick things up from, and then we could have yet another platform if need be. We could even swing it over and put a completely different station on this side just to drop off the goods. But I think for now, this is going to be a fairly okayish spot to end this particular video. It doesn't look exactly as what I envisage, but it does have the opportunity of becoming something rather like what I am envisaging. It's just going to take a little bit of time. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos on Transports Fever 2, leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Don't forget to support me on Patreon if you can do so at www.patreon.com/ECGadget. Your support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. And also, you can find me on social media at ECGadget LB for both Twitter and Instagram. I hope that in the next video I can get this up and running, and if I am able to get this up and running, I think that it is going to really look absolutely spectacular, and we should be able to start getting cargo running through this whole area, from the quarries down to this, and from this over to all the various cities, including the city of Berwick-upon-Tweed, where that train is just heading. I'll see you next time.